Here's how it's shaping up. Arsenal will take on Sporting, Juve and Roma taking on Freiburg and Real Sociedad respectively. And following on from knocking Barca out of the competition, Manchester United will face another Spanish side next, that side being Real Betis. Erik ten Hag had this to say after last night's game. He said, "I think this is another step because when you can beat Barcelona, one of the best teams in this moment in Europe, then your belief can be really strong. Then you are able to beat anyone." Let's welcome in Stewart Robson as we talk more about that game. And Craig, this is the first time we're seeing you since Manchester United's win here. So what did you make of it?
Unsurprising. Started well. Obviously, bad mistake for the goal. But Barca, with all their possession in the first half, I didn't think created a lot, but they were the stronger side. And then once the second half started and he made the change and the tempo was different, I thought Man United were really good. I thought they defended well when they had to. And yeah, it was just a continuation of the progress that we're seeing under Erik ten Hag. And obviously Anthony, who's been a big talking point, big player in terms of his fee, with the end product that I think he needs to show more often. So yeah, not a real surprise because obviously Barca, no Gavi, no Pedri in there. So they were weakened and United were strong. You thought they were worthy of the win too, right, Stevie?
I did, yeah. Yeah. I thought the longer the game went on, the stronger Manchester United got. And I felt that there was only going to be one winner. And actually, you've got to say that about United right now, that regardless of the opposition, when they're still in a game, the longer it goes, you get the feeling, and they give you the feeling that they're going to get something. And they did, and I thought they deserved it.
So you're finding it quite exciting, can we say, that Europa League tag?
I wouldn't go that far.
Stewart Robson, what's your view on what Erik ten Hag's done in terms of turning this side around since that start that he had with Manchester United?
Well, the key thing is, and there's two managers that have turned their sides around. We can talk about Mikel Arteta and obviously Erik ten Hag. And the thing that's changed it, he showed his authority. He won the battle against Ronaldo. And from that moment on, he was able to dictate exactly how he wanted to play. He had the backing of the players. He had the backing of the fans. Mikel Arteta did it with Aubameyang, and they changed their fortunes. And Erik ten Hag has done a very good job with Steve McClaren, who's a top-class coach. You know, he can get himself muddled up with other things at times, but Steve McClaren is a top-class coach, and he'll be backing Erik ten Hag. They look as though they know exactly what they're trying to do now. Players are getting better. Individual players are getting better because they're being coached properly. And that's what we talked about when Solskjaer was the manager. He was putting a team out and they were playing a sort of formation, but there was no actual individual coaching. There was no understanding of what they were trying to do. Erik ten Hag has won the battle against the senior player and got rid of him. And that's helped them out. And he's also won the battle with the junior players, the less experienced players, in making them better, encouraging them, coaching them. And as a result, they're a good team now.
I think also he's got a player in Casemiro who clearly has been there, seen it, got the T-shirt, but he's making others better. You know, he's giving others confidence. He's filling in. He's winning tackles. He's getting forward as well. He's playing some good forward balls, but more importantly, he's getting himself in good defensive positions to cover, and you'd expect that. But the other side of the coin is everybody knows what's wanted from him. You know, if you're looking at the centre backs, you had Varane and Martinez who played well, but if something happens to Martinez, it's not another centre-half, it's another left-sided player he wants in there, so he'll put Luke Shaw in there. And he has done on 3 or 4 occasions, because he wants to make sure they've got a left-footed player coming out from the back on that side. So everything he's doing has got a purpose about it in terms of the coach. And yeah, it has been excellent. And of course, Rashford having the flexibility, you know, to make those runs in behind from the wider positions. Then he went through the middle when Weghorst went off. And so the guys know that they've got somebody. If it's tight, they can flick it in behind, and they've got runners. They've got pace in the wide positions. They've got runners from the midfield. We saw Fred getting forward. So really, really positive at the moment from United.
Yeah, you mentioned Fred. There was a lot of talk about Fred yesterday and the improvement that we've seen in this player. Do you think it's benefiting him being next to a player like Casemiro?
100%, no question. I don't think there's any doubt about that whatsoever. I don't think there's any doubt that the strength of United is up the spine, which all good teams have. You know, De Gea has been making saves when they've been needed. He's done it all season for me. You got Varane, who when he's fit, I mean, he'll get in most teams. And then we've talked about Casemiro, and look at what's going on around Casemiro with Fred. Fernandes is perfect for the way that United play because he can float around and create stuff. And the biggest surprise for me is Weghorst. When they signed him, I'm thinking, you know what? They just need a warm body. Because nobody thought this guy could play. I didn't think he could play. Yes, I thought it'd be a handful if they're playing balls forward and let him fight for it. But the guy's turned into a provider, particularly for Rashford as well. So
he wasn't very good yesterday.
Well, all right, he wasn't very good yesterday. I'll tell you what. Tell me the last time that the guy wasn't a huge part of what United have been doing, going forward in particular.
You've named everybody down that spine apart from one person. Just get it over with. Get it over with. Admit it and get the person down the spine that you've not mentioned, get that over with. Come on.
Doesn't want to say it, does he?
I've no idea who he's talking about.
Lisandro Martinez.
Oh, shucks.
He was excellent again.
Oh, shucks.
You don't think he was it? You don't think he was good?
He was excellent again. I'll tell you what, he's missed the last 8 games he's played 4. That's how good
Stevie,
he is, by the way.
Martinez,
That's how
by
good
anyone's...
he is, by the way.
Lisandro Martinez was... Robo.
Hold on a second. Who's he playing for? He's not playing for United. Who's he playing for?
Oh, my God.
Martinez has done a lot better than I thought he would do. When he first came in, the first 2 or 3 games, his positional play wasn't particularly good. We can talk about his height and he's going to have problems in the air, but it was his positional play that I was worried about and a lack of pace. I thought if you haven't got height, you've got to have understanding of the game and pace. But he's got by on all counts. He's got a good left foot. He's been aggressive. He's worked well with other centre-halves. He's worked well with the left-back. And as Craig said, when he comes out with the ball with that left foot, he can hit the big diagonal, he can play balls down the channel. So he's been a much better player than I thought he was going to be. There we are.
And he still overcommits.
Listen, this is what I tell you what. This is what happens. This is what happens when you pigeonhole yourself in with hot takes, and you can't backtrack. He's been excellent. He has been excellent beside Rafael Varane.
Away you go.
No, I'm not away you go. No,
I told you he's not played half the games. Well, he's so good he hasn't played half the games.
Well, Barcelona he might have noticed.
Tell me why
Barcelona might. Well, I think he's had some injuries. Barcelona was an injury. Barcelona. I tell you what.
When was he injured?
One of the biggest games of the season, Barcelona had played. Will he play in the cup final at the weekend?
One of the biggest games.
Will he play in the cup final at the weekend? One of the biggest games
of the season.
Will he play in the? Hold on a second. Against Barcelona.
The very person who thinks the Europa League's a waste of time has now just called it one of the biggest games of the season.
But it was Barcelona.
Ten Hag, though, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's a season-defining week, a week like this with Barcelona and Europe.
Well, that's not what we're arguing about. We're arguing about Martinez playing in one of the biggest games of the season.
Barcelona.
In a tournament that he thinks is a waste of time.
Will he play at the weekend in the cup final?
I have no idea. Go and ask Ten Hag.
I think he will. Because he's been excellent.
Well, he's well rested because he's not played half the games.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.